Well, we have 2 weeks to kill for these next coming shows. And for this one, I decided we should go back and revisit a film that I saw not too long ago that I feel is one of the most low-key insane movies put out in the last year. I want to talk about Clint Eastwood being that mule in The Mule, the titular mule. We're talking about it. Clint Eastwood dealing drugs. He's fucking 90. We're talking about it on a very illegal edition of the review. Grr, internet.
Always on your phones.
Always on your goddamn phones.
Always on your phone. How do you text?
Yeah. Why are you on your phones when you could be saying racist things?
Welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give your big, sick opinions. I'm Troy to the sick. P.S. I'm sick.
I'm trying to not get sick.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my distance. I'll wear a mask.
I'm very happy you put a plastic bubble around yourself.
Yeah, the acoustics in it are exquisite.
Yeah. Hello.
And you can just hear me rubbing up against it. Today we are going over your choice. Over your choice of our 2 dead weeks, which really isn't dead because Toy Story 4 came out.
I know.
And it's only like the biggest animated movie probably of the year.
Well, my thing, I always feel guilty, especially since we did it 3 times in a row. I always feel guilty bringing up, we should go to the theater. Because I know you're a family man.
I'm a family man.
You got stuff going on.
I got stuff going on.
So I always feel bad where it's like, hey, you should probably go to the theater and watch this. And then you just like,
all right. It makes sense.
So I tried to give you a break. Since we did it 3 times in a row.
I got it.
I was like, maybe give you a little bit of a break before Spider-Man comes out.
Got it.
But I did see it, so I'll bring it up later in the show.
Okay.
It's Toy Story 4.
Okay.
I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Talk about it later.
Going on into your pick, we're going to get into that a little bit later. Probably top of the hour, more than likely.
You know what? It's a good chance it's going to be top of the hour.
I mean,
usually
why break formula at this point?
Exactly. We do it so well every week.
Yeah, that's right.
We always hit it right at the top of the hour.
You know, I have friends that listen to the show now.
Yeah.
That
will try to time it out for top of the hour?
No, they don't. Because that would be impressive if they could do that.
Yep.
But they'll tell me when they're listening to the show, be like, oh, it's the top of the hour. Seems like, oh, is it? And like every time I'm almost gullible and like look at the clock. And like, wait a minute. It's like 9:18. What are you talking about?
We always do our reviews on the 6s here.
Yeah.
Reviews on the 6s here at Review Podcast.
Before we get into that, let's do some news of the week. Catch everybody up with what's really happening.
You know, a lot of shit happened. It's up to us to let them know.
I had like jackass for news this week too, so this is like what I could scramble to get.
That's fine.
Joel, that Eternals movie, I guess is still happening.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But it's added another member.
They are
pretty high profile member.
A blockbuster cast for this Eternals movie.
I wonder if they're really doubling down on this. Because this is like the next movie after the Black Widow one, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not a clue. That was just pulling out of my ass. I'm not sure.
No wonder it's covered in shit.
And it's covered in shit.
It's covered in shit. Call the shit poop.
Y'all, me and Jenkins hate shit. But Selma Hayek has joined the cast with other big name stars such as Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And I think somebody else that I've forgotten, but they're big. Don't worry about that.
They're big. They're big, babe.
Huge.
They're huge. Huge. So, I think it's the guy from Game of Thrones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Richard Madden.
Richard Madden.
Yeah.
GOT. Love it.
That's right.
Love it in that GOT.
the
So, check out the Eternals whenever they decide to drop any information on that whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
I am, like, still stunned.
Just don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit, but
Yeah.
still stunned that it's like, yeah, we're still doing this.
Yeah.
We're adding more people to this cast.
We are now bringing people back from the dead to star in this.
Watch those say Clint Eastwood will be in the Eternals. He will be slightly racist.
Oh, no shit.
No shit. Get into that later. JT got some wrestling news for yourself and the world. World Wrestling Entertainment has
What the world's been watching.
has dubbed Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff executive producers. Executive directors
Oh, yeah.
of their programming.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this stuff?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like, it was like I went to my like Google like suggested news, and this is like one of the top ones, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Is it gonna do any difference?
I don't know. Like,
What was Bischoff's position at WCW?
he was like,
Like an executive director?
yeah, he was, he was pretty much like, they're giving him like the title that I think he had in WCW, but like the whole thing, from my point of view, is that Vince just seems like he needs to, the problem is just Vince feels like he needs to be involved in everything.
Yeah.
So if they're still going to do that, this isn't going to make much of a difference. 'Cause
Right.
there's still going to be like this fucking pigeonhole of where like information has to go through to get to him before anything gets finalized.
Oui.
Where it's like, you just fucking open the floodgates. Just let them take care of that stuff.
Yeah.
And you take care of other stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably the main problem that I've heard so far.
In that John Moxley interview, that was like one of the things that was brought up, like that Vince still has his fingers in everything.
Yeah.
Which is still, like, I would give him praise. Like, something that his family created and was kind of handed to him.
Yeah.
Like, he still wants all, like, he's still in it at his age.
But dude's in like his mid-70s.
I know, and I'm also saying this is bad because it's gotten so big that it's now a hindrance.
Yeah. He's literally running a fucking company on Wall Street by himself.
Yeah.
Like, companies on Wall Street don't do that.
I know. But they have, like, boards of directors, you would think, right? But they wouldn't do the day-to-day shit. They would just do business decisions.
Yeah. They're just making sure they're still making money.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
What do we start off with? Oh, yeah, Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff. Yeah, good for them.
I'm back. That's what I was going to say.
JT, did you look more into Google Stadia as it was announced?
Oh, that's the video game thing?
Yeah.
I did not.
It sounds fun, except for this fact.
Okay.
Well, let me give you the specs.
It costs $2,000 a month.
I'm not sure what the cost of it is. I don't know any of those kind of specs, but just in general, it seems impressive. Because all you need is a Chromecast or a Google-enabled device and obviously the app to just stream on any device that you have.
That's insane.
With a Stadia controller.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's impressive. Mm-hmm. So there is a monthly subscription, and I didn't see what it was in American, but I thought in Canada it was like $15 Canadian a month or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not too bad for, I guess, what you get to do, except I heard now in a report saying that, like, yeah, you can kind of have that subscription service and, like, pay, like, play some games here and there on any device, but you also have to pay full price for the game. So, like, why have the subscription service if you have to pay full price for the game?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a select few titles that are on, like, the Stadia, like maybe cross-gen, or not, cross-platform games.
Yeah.
Maybe. But, like, Sony exclusives or whatever wouldn't
Yeah.
be, you'd have to pay full price for that shit.
Yeah. But but like from what I usually do, like especially through my PlayStation account, I usually just wait for them to go on sale, and I'm sure they'll probably do that for this too.
Maybe. Not a clue.
But
then,
yeah,
even
I don't like-
then,
I don't
then
like-
why would you pay a subscription service?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of that, of just having, you have to pay a subscription service to play these games that you've paid for.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess I pay for PlayStation Plus, but I mean, you don't need PlayStation Plus to buy games either.
Right. But then they also drop freebies on there.
Yeah, which are nice.
Yeah. So, like, you could pick those up and still continue to pay for the service.
Yeah. Because they make them unplayable if you stop paying for the service.
Yeah. Which I didn't know. But
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. You're still coming out ahead on that view compared to this one.
Yeah.
Where you just straight up have to buy the game.
Yeah. Well, how much? I don't know how much the subscription would be, though.
I don't know either. So, more will come apparently later on in the year.
'Cause we have our finger on the pulse on this.
Yeah, we're huge gamers, guys.
Yeah.
Huge.
Troy is our chief Google correspondent. I'm sure he will be.
I'll be on it.
He is
Finger on the pulse.
More Google news on the Sixes here on Review
Yeah.
podcast.
More casting news, JT. One of our favorite players out there, Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
has joined the cast of Ghostbusters 3.
Oh my gosh, they called Paul Rudd.
They called the Rudd. They pulled in a ringer. They got Paul Rudd in.
They called a ringer and they got the Rudd.
And did you hear that they've changed the title to the Ghostbusters?
What's
movies?
it now?
Can you guess?
Is it GB20 or something?
It's Ghostbusters 2020.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's horrible. Just call it Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to call it Ghostbusters 3 after it's been out for a year.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be calling it Ghostbusters
No shit.
2020. What are you doing? Rudd, turn some things around here, Rudd.
What's the tagline? They're men now.
They're bringing back Hugh Downs to be a Ghostbuster. Either that or they're
Strange
chasing
new occurrence in the city today.
They're
They're
chasing-
called ghosts.
chasing down the ghost of Hugh Downs.
Reporting now, John Stossel. Give me a break. Ghosts in New York City. Give me a break.
Stossel and that stupid little push broom on his upper lip. Last bit of news I got, JT. The Office. The Office, R.I.P.
Yep.
It'll be officially off
Yep.
Netflix.
I remember I sent you a tweet
Thought it was-
giving you and C Danger your condolences.
Yep, ample time for us to watch it 7 more times through.
Yep.
It'll be officially off of Netflix January of 2021.
Yep. Can't wait for December 31st of 2020 when you put your TV on one of those boats and then send it off to sea and then you fire a flaming arrow into it.
A good Viking funeral.
Yep. It's like, well, that's it. TV's dead. No, Office is no longer on Netflix.
It's not even worth turning on TVs anymore.
Yep.
So yeah, there you have it. Office. Apparently it's going to be bought back by NBC
Yep.
and put on their own streaming service that they'll have. Whatever that it should be.
Yep.
It's not Hulu now. I don't think. Unless
yeah,
they do
wouldn't
put
be.
it on
Unless,
Hulu.
Yeah, maybe.
No, because Disney's buying out.
Yeah, Disney's buying out all of
Comcast.
Hulu, so NBC's gonna have a thing. Does NBC own any other stations?
Comcast Universal owns NBC.
Yeah,
NBC, I'm not sure. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know any of that shit. I'm very bad at it.
Comcast. Do they own like TBS and stuff?
Maybe.
I don't know. Let us know.
It's just exhausting to figure all that shit out. I don't know.
My head hurts just thinking about like what one company owns all the things we know.
The answer is Disney or AT&T.
Yeah.
That is the answer.
Fucking damn it.
If you don't mind, I'm going to crack this window.
Crack it.
It's
Get some
fucking
air in here.
shades.
Looks like there's a little bit of breeze going on out there. Wouldn't mind a little bit of that.
Oh my god, you feel that?
Ooh.
You feel that coming through there?
Ooh.
Oh my god, it's refreshing.
Maybe someone will walk by who'll get a guest.
Hope so. Hopefully it's Skeeta. She lives right down the street.
Hey, call her over here. She probably saw the mule.
Hey! I don't think she heard.
I would have loved Rita's opinion on the mule.
Me too. Probably like, I lived that life. Like, really?
Yeah, that's me. That's me in 50 years, gender and all. I get a sex change somewhere between now and 90.
I'd drive a big fucking truck.
Drive a big fucking truck and sell flowers.
Man. Really, your life wouldn't change that much. You just get a truck.
Yeah. Reed Skeet is pretty much Clint Eastwood. She's the female Clint Eastwood.
Got the frame of him. Oh my god, I wish she was here to fight back. And she wouldn't even fight back either. She'd be like, yeah, you're right.
You are saying the most true things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Spoilers, she wanted to do an Aladdin show.
I know, we'll probably have to wait for it to come out on DVD. We could probably do for Lion King.
We could probably do it for Lion King.
I don't know, let me see what's coming up.
Let's see what's coming up. Anyway, I'm through all my news. Did you hear me? That was your cue to
Did
load
you
up
hear
your
me?
shit.
Did you hear me? Is there anybody in there?
Is there anybody out there?
Bellies and spice.
You know what I thought of the other day that made me really chuckle?
What?
Is when they took the music out of the frickin' the Rolling Stones and David Bowie song, and it's just them dancing in the street, and all you hear is like sneakers scraping against asphalt. It made me just chuckle to myself.
That's so stupid. I love it. Troy?
Yeah.
Legendary Pictures is making the film, or book-to-film adaptation of Enola Holmes.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be the much younger sister of Sherlock Holmes solving crimes.
Oh.
And they just casted their Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
Now, when you think of Sherlock Holmes, of course, you think witty.
Uh-huh.
You think very bright.
Right.
So, of course, eccentric. So, of course, there's only one actor you can think of, right? Say it with me. Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is going to play Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
In Legendary Pictures Enola Holmes.
Not that I dislike Henry Cavill, but he
yeah,
does not
this is
fit
the most
type.
weird casting for Sherlock Holmes
All right.
I've ever seen.
Jesus. They need something else to go into the public domain very quick here.
No shit.
I'm sick of Sherlock Holmes and Robin Hood.
Good lord.
And King Arthur. For fuck's sake, people.
Oh my god, I'm surprised we're not getting like 9 Snow White movies. Well, I guess Disney has like some grasp on it, so I don't know.
But they just stole it from a grim fairy tale.
That's true.
Just take it from that.
There you go.
Do the real life version of that and make it horrifying.
Can't wait for like the Chicken Little universe to come out. The sky is falling this summer. Troy, have you ever played any Final Fantasy games?
I played a little bit of 7.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you enjoy it?
I guess. I never beat it.
Did you have fun?
Not really. Like, I don't really like those games. Like the turn-based
I know.
games.
Yeah, the RPG games, I don't know. I feel like I get into them when I first start playing them, and then I just get really bored of them really easily.
Mm-hmm. I think they've changed since the Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
But I just can't... It just isn't... Having to wait to be hit, and then you plan your attack.
I know.
I'm just like,
shit.
I don't want to do that. I would just go over there and stab you with my big fucking sword. Like, that's how I would kill you. And right now I'm here standing, hoping your move misses.
I know. And then there's like, then they started putting out RPG games where it's like, so like you can move and stuff. But then it's like, they still wait. You have to wait your turn, so you can like just keep swinging at shit, and it doesn't hurt them. You have to wait your turn still. Like, I hate those fucking...
Don't care for them.
Like, Molly's super into them because she loves Kingdom Hearts.
Mm.
And I like watching her play it. I'm like, ugh, fuck this.
I got gifted that game because I thought I'd like it. And then
It's so weird.
I can't get into it.
It's so weird. And then they get like these like weird voice actors to play like Disney characters, and they sound just off enough where it doesn't sound like them.
It's that weird uncanny valley.
Yeah, like I made fun of Molly for the longest time because like the guy, like Goofy's like one of the main characters you play as throughout it,
Right.
and his voice was just so stupid. So I'd always walk in and like the main character that you play as is Sora. So I'd always walk in and be like, "Gee, Sora!" And just like I kept saying it to her the entire time she was playing the game.
Oof.
Like I'd just be like, "Sora!" And she gets so pissed at me. Anyways, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
There's a live action series in the works.
Okay.
By Sony Television. I don't know what network's gonna buy it up.
Okay.
But there you go for all you RPG heads out there.
It probably won't be anything like the games, but
Yeah.
there you have it.
Troy, you looking forward to that Breaking Bad movie that's supposed to be coming out?
I kind of keep forgetting about it, to be honest.
I know I do too, but
So sure.
they finally hinted at something this past week.
Perfect.
It's so fucking... It's infuriating. Just fucking tell me when it's coming out. But both Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul put out a weird tweet of a... Hold on. It's a picture, and I can't remember what the fuck the picture was of. Yeah, so they put out a picture of two donkeys, and it says soon. And it's because both Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul both put them up that they're like, oh, this is Breaking Bad. And it's two donkeys.
That's gonna be two donkeys. What if they voice donkeys in Breaking Bad?
Oh my god. What if they like voice donkeys in like a fucking like Disney movie or
like
something?
Like a DreamWorks animated feature.
Oh my god. I would love that so much.
Breaking Burrows.
Breaking Burrows. Like one of the donkeys is cooking meth. Jesse!
Just the other one just says hee haw, bitch.
Biatch!
Can't wait for Breaking
There you go.
Burrows.
I can't wait for Breaking Burrows to come out.
Is that how you say it? Burrows?
What? How do you say it?
Now I don't know how I say it.
I said
Burrows?
I guess it's burrows, like burrows in a city. Was it burrows?
Now I don't know how I said it.
Burrows. No.
That's what you just said. Burrows? Burrows?
Burrows?
I think that's what right.
Burrow.
I think burrows.
Like the bureau of
Not a bureau. A burrow.
Commerce?
A burrow. This is so stupid.
We're falling down a rabbit hole of dumbassness right now. Troy, I got some nostalgia news for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
So there is a animated series out, like a Scooby-Doo animated series that's coming out, and one of the characters that's going to be in it is Steve Urkel, who will be voiced by the man himself, Jaleel White.
Oh, okay. Scooby-Doo's meeting up with Urkel. Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So
sounds good, I guess. It sounds like something only for 30-year-olds.
Return of the Urkel. Yeah, it sounds like a show for kids made for 30-year-olds. So, like everything that's out today.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess the name of the show is going to be Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. And I guess the Guess Who is going to be Steve Urkel.
Spoilers.
I know, right? They could have waited.
Get freaking
The fuck?
Carl in that show.
Carl Otis Winslow?
Yeah. Get him in there.
Get him on.
Get him on there.
Get him on there.
Play off of each other.
Yeah. Get Eddie.
What is he doing?
The whole Laura.
What are
I
they
mean,
doing?
Laura's married to him.
Really? In real life?
No, like in the show.
Oh.
Like the finale was. The
I
finale
was
was like.
really? I am the most gullible asshole in the world.
It's sure it's top of the hour.
Really? No, it's not.
But no, like the end of the Family Matters was like Steve Urkel married Laura and then he went to the moon.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that. I don't think I've ever seen that finale.
Man.
Went to the moon. I feel like I would
Goes
remember
to the
that.
fucking moon.
But I mean, by the end, they have just ridiculous things going on.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, I couldn't... Maybe I saw it.
So I think,
maybe
like,
I didn't.
Urkel had cloned himself, and then he made a Stefan out of his clone to date Laura, and then Laura was like, it's just not the same. I miss Steve. And then they, like, get together and they marry each other.
Like, I remember one time, like, for whatever reason, Carl and Urkel are on a train car, and they have that transformation device on there where they turn into weird Bruce Lee type analogs, and then they have to whoop all these bad guys' ass. Like, that was in an episode of Family Matters.
I remember there was, like, a Halloween episode where, like, their house turns into, like, a legit haunted house or something based on, like, what Steve does. Like, there's, like, actual monsters in their house.
What did that show become? You know what would be fun to do? A rewatch of that and just pinpoint where it jumps the shark and can never go back.
People that love Family Matters, send us their craziest episodes and we'll do retrospectives on the craziest Family Matters episodes.
Send us
And keep reminding ourselves that this was once just a show about a working class cop with his family in Chicago. And now we're watching a nerd come to their house and, like, demorphosize their son into a cat or something.
I'd also like to know the episode where it makes that leap, and I would like to see the episode right before it. And then jump to the next one where it's like, whoa, okay. So let us know.
When did people accept this? It's the Steve Urkel show. It's okay.
Oh, look at that little Stevie. So cute.
Yeah.
Did he do that? Got any cheese?
Oh, shit. Troy.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones.
Right.
Had their final season. Final episode, final season, and episode on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
I know you've been talking about, like, maybe they'll bring them back on another platform of some sort.
Yeah.
All those Netflix shows. Now that Disney's doing their thing, maybe they'll come back on their Disney app.
Sure.
Well, not Kristen Ritter.
Oh, shit.
Kristen Ritter, in an interview, when asked about Jessica Jones, said, when it comes to a Jessica Jones revival, she says, and I quote, I don't think so.
What was the context in which she said
She
it?
done, bro. They just asked her if she's going to come
Did she
back.
say it like that? I don't think so. Or,
I don't
think so. See?
I mean, I read it, so I mean, I don't know.
Oh, see? You didn't hear it.
So there you go. Another non-news subject here.
But I can see her never coming back to it anyway.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Fuck it. That's all my news, Troy.
Great.
That's all my news. And I don't think there's been any deaths. Did you get any deaths, Troy?
I didn't get any deaths.
Well, good.
So we're
Good.
just going to jump right
All
into...
is right in the world.
All is right because we got movies that are done.
It's done. It's fucking done.
We got two. Well, I got two anyway. Do you got two as well?
I also have two.
Oh, are they the same as mine?
Probably not.
Great.
Because there was one you listened to that I heard the audio of that I don't believe was the same as the one that I listened to. Thus,
Good story.
saying that was probably not the same one.
I'm glad you put it together. You could be the next Sherlock Holmes.
I know. I could take Henry Cavill's spot.
Oh, you don't mind? I'll dip my toe into my trailer pool right over here.
Go for it. I'm going to grab a beer.
You want to grab me one too while you're up?
Sure.
Thanks.
That'll quell that sickness in you.
That's right. Just
Burn it out of you.
just liquefy my liver. I don't know. That's not what beer does. I mean, I guess that's what a lot of beer does. Liquefy livers. I'm not talking about trailers at all, am I?
Unless your trailer's about liquefied livers.
Liquefy Liver 6. No, I got a trailer
This time it's personal.
for a movie called Official Secrets, and it stars Keira Knightley, working maybe for the British government. She says she works for the British people in it. That's a direct line. But I don't know what she works for. But it's during the Bush administration.
Oh,
And it's about, like, how like maybe there's secrets going on and she uncovers something huge that could topple like governments or whatever. It
Like
looks
9/11 being a hoax.
maybe that like maybe who knows. So it looks kind of interesting, but it looks like it's just not going to do much at all for me in general.
Fair enough.
It's got a decent cast in it. But even still, it's just like one of those that'll probably be like applauded by dorks. And it'll probably end up being like super good, but I'll never see it. It's like one of those
Dorks?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, speaking of things not interested, they put out a teaser trailer for a movie called Midway, which is a World War II movie directed by Roland Emmerich.
Oh, God.
This looks like Pearl Harbor 2.
Oh, Jesus.
So much so that they put Pearl Harbor in the fucking movie.
Oh, I heard that going on over there.
Yeah, so, yeah. But this is supposed to spotlight the Battle of Midway, which was like the turning point in the Pacific part of World War II. And it's got a cast. I think.
Of sorts.
Yeah. They have Ed Skrein as top build on this. But they got Patrick Wilson.
Okay.
Fuck. Who else was
Ed
in there?
Skrein got top billed over
Ed
Patrick
Skrein.
Wilson?
Yeah. Ed Skrein is.
All right.
He looks like he's gonna be like the Ben Affleck in it. There's literally like a scene.
What is happening in this
There's
movie?
literally like a scene in here where like they show him like nose diving towards like some boats like shooting at him, and he's like, ugh. Like he looks off to the side like he's giving up, and then he sees like a picture of his family, and he's like, yeah. And then he's like looks straight ahead and just like keeps going towards him, where it's like, come the fuck on. This looks like Pearl Harbor 2.
Boy, wasn't
So-
Pearl Harbor a trip?
Yep.
Remember when we watched that?
Go listen to our review. Man, that was a night.
That was something else. We started off the review drunk.
We did.
Because we watched
It
live.
right before, so we had 3 hours to drink.
Christ. What a great time. We play.
There you go.
We play around, don't
So there you go. Listen to our review of Midway when that comes out. When we get drunk watching that. That was probably fucking 5 hours. Roland Emmerich.
we? God, what a
Fucking
piece of shit.
piece of
When
shit.
is that movie he's like threatening to make like Moonfall?
Oh, the moon one?
When does that come out?
I don't know. So busy making Midway. Can't talk about the moon yet.
I see. I see.
I see.
No shit.
No shit. Docs on box.
No shit. The other trailer I got is Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
Taking another
Charlie's Angels.
crack at this franchise. This time with a new cast starring Kristen Stewart.
Yep.
Elizabeth Banks is in this movie, not as an angel.
Bosley.
She is also directing this movie.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
She's going all in on this one. Patrick Stewart is in it. Apparently not
Yeah.
as
Of
Charlie.
course, the father of Kristen.
Right? Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that.
He's joining his daughter on screen for the first time. Who are the other angels? I can't remember what they are. What they are. Who they are.
Jesus.
That was bad.
I can't remember. Let me look.
All right.
One of them looked familiar.
I have it right here.
What? You don't know?
Naomi Scott, Elizabeth Banks, Kristen Stewart. They don't have the other one.
Huh?
Well, how do you like that?
Maybe they cloned Naomi Scott to make the other one.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, regardless, this looks like it could go one of two ways.
Oh shit, The Boys comes out in July?
Did you just lose interest in this show and start
Yeah, I did.
playing on your phone? This looks like it could go one of two ways. Like, it either will end up being pretty fun, or just end up being horrible.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be
One or the other. It looks like there's some fun action parts in there, but then when they start talking about, like, here's a bomb that can make global warming get more or something, where it's like
Global warming get more warming.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. It's like it's something like they try and make it like some big like, eco thing where it's like we got a thing that could be a weapon, but it could also help the Earth. But they want to make it into a weapon where it's like okay, just making a nuke like everything else. Jesus Christ,
Making a nuke.
Just making a nuke.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that already. That's not a good sign. Well,
and then like one of the angels just seems like a civilian, like just some chick that like heard the wrong thing at the wrong time, and now she's just part of the group. Mm-hmm. Because it's like it seems like Kristen Stewart and the other chick are like the two experts, and then the third angel's just like, ugh, what am I doing?
yeah.
Why am I here?
Right. Well, we'll see, won't we?
We will see.
Probably won't see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Unless it does gangbusters.
Raving reviews.
That always, like, upsets me, too, when I see something that, like, features, like, an all-female cast, and it should be, like, celebrated, but then I see it, and I'm just like, I'm just not excited about it.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need, like, a real hit.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I'm talking about women.
Yeah.
Like, they need, like, somebody who knows what they're doing to, like, really go out there and show, like, that women can, like, kick ass.
Yeah.
And we've seen it a few times in other movies, but
Yeah.
this doesn't look like it.
Like, you know that the movie's trying way too hard to be female empowerment when they make all the male... Like, when they make the male characters the female characters, too. Where it's like, okay, but you didn't have to.
That doesn't bother me
I
at
don't
all.
know, it doesn't
but
bother me at all either, but it's like, it always strikes me as, like, that's, like, trying too hard to be like, yes, women. But I get, look.
I'm just going to let you dig yourself a hole here.
Look, I'm not digging myself a hole. It's just, there are things out there where they're not trying as hard.
Women, you say don't try as hard. That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying, Jesus Christ. Stop putting words in my fucking mouth.
We can just go on to something else.
I'm gonna stop. 'Cause
all I wanted was to do that. And I succeeded, so we can move on.
if Charlie's Angels is good, then I will eat my own words. I'm for it.
It just doesn't look
Let's
very
be.
good.
It doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good.
It looks like it'll be blander than the early 2000s one that came out.
Yeah, and that's only because the early 2000s one looked insane.
Yeah.
And this one
they
just
were
looks
insane.
like, and this one is just like, we're gonna be serious.
Yeah, but it looks like it's mixed with like flares of like, maybe like Kingsman.
Maybe
A little bit, where it's like, oh, here's your closet, and here's all your wigs, and then, oh, you didn't see the second closet where they open up, it's all guns and stuff.
Yeah. Doesn't it seem like everyone is doing that MMA move where they like wrap their legs around someone's head?
And like sit on their shoulders and
Yeah.
just like elbow them in the head or whatever.
Like that seems like even like every trailer I've seen, like every time like a woman is fighting someone, they always do like the MMA, get them in an armbar and sit on their shoulders and beat them up.
Which seems like a terrible move.
Yeah,
like,
they'll just drop them.
Yeah, couldn't you just like lean forward and drop them right on their head?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's any movie. Like anybody who does that, just drop them on their head.
Yeah.
Dump them.
Yeah. Like wrestling.
Yeah, just dump them.
That's what Eric Bischoff told me to do. We're on SmackDown now. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, shoot. Well, you want to jump into the tourney of random
movies? I didn't get trivia this time because fuck it.
Great. Well, this friggin' one got a huge turnout, let me tell you what.
Yeah, all for one fucking movie. Jesus.
This was like, so after last week,
At 40,
or the week before, where
we
like people came out in droves to vote for it. Like this one had Jackass for votes.
Like 9 people, and I was the only one that voted for The Conjuring. Misery took the shit real goddamn easy.
Took and ran.
Took it and ran. So there you go. Misery and Warm Bodies, but that's next week. This week, for our semi-final match, Monsters, Inc. versus King Kong. Pixar's big nowadays, Troy.
That's right.
So what are you thinking?
Monster flicks, huh?
Yeah, 2 monster flicks.
I'm not a huge fan of Monsters, Inc.
I know, you've said that before.
I don't
Said in
hate
the
it either.
past.
It just doesn't hit me like with any sort of
Yeah.
like feeling or whatever.
Well, you're a dad now. There's a little girl in it.
That's true.
Maybe it'll hit you in the feels.
My daughter did wake up possibly with a night terror the other night, so maybe she saw a Sully.
I'm just imagining you're gonna watch that. If we do Monsters Inc., you watch it with her, and then she gets so obsessed you have to like buy it in some way.
That Disney Plus thing's coming out.
Monsters,
Sully!
Sully.
Monster!
Monster.
Monster!
Monster.
So I'm going for King Kong, I think.
Okay,
going
Monsters
for
Inc.
King
versus King Kong. Troy is calling out King Kong. He wants it,
Calling
even
for
though
the
we've already
Kong.
watched so many fucking monster movies up to this point.
Calling for the Kong.
He's calling for the Kong.
Give it to me.
'Twas beauty that killed the beast? We'll find out.
Spoilers.
Jesus Christ, spoilers for what? 100 years? It's a 100-year spoiler? I didn't get around to it since it came out
100 years
Came out 100 years ago. It's still on my list. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Like, maybe if this ends up winning, like Kong, like I will like probably shit on the very end of this movie, because even though it's a classic movie or whatever, just retold, it's always just so odd how it ends very abruptly after that line. It's like, maybe it was the beauty who killed the beast. Credits.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that ended very quickly.
Jack Black being so fucking dramatic. Just me just staring at the screen, just be funny. Where's Kyle Gass?
Anyway,
There you go. Monsters Inc. versus King Kong for next week. We'll see who moves on to face the winner of Warm Bodies versus Misery,
great.
which will be our matchup for next week.
Awesome. Very close to that final. Very curious.
Very curious.
Very curious.
Curious as a cat.
Very curious.
There's one. All of them are in the 2000s except for one, which is probably going to win. And then we'll still be in that rut of never reviewing anything from the Tournament of Random Movies.
A modern-esque movie.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Can't wait to review Misery.
Yeah. Just to have it win right now. We'll just put it on the docket. Well, that brings us into The Mule.
The Mule.
Dropping December 14th, 2018.
There you go.
Day after my birthday.
It was happy birthday.
It was a movie
This
tailor
one-
made for
they were
me.
like- that's why it was like for Troy in the credits, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Had a budget of $50 million, which even for this movie seemed high.
Yeah.
Maybe Andy Garcia has a huge paycheck.
Had to pay for all those tits in Mexico.
It was probably filmed in Miami anyway.
Yeah.
Domestically, it raked in $103.8 million, and worldwide took in $172.6 million, so it did okay for itself.
Oh, yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at 70%, IMDb 7.1 out of 10, and Netflix DVD gave it 3.7 out of 5.
Jesus.
I know.
So pretty close to that 70 range, everyone is saying.
Yeah, it's all pretty much there. Fun fact, this is Clint Eastwood's 47th starring role.
Jesus Christ.
And this was actually inspired by a real life person,
Yeah.
Leo Sharp,
Yeah.
who was a World War II veteran, where at 80 he became the oldest and the world's most prolific drug mule for the Sinaloa cartel.
Yeah. I believe you're right. Sinaloa.
Yeah. So I didn't know that, which was very cool to see.
There you go. Based on a true story.
Based on a true story,
There you
of
go.
course.
Surprised they didn't put that in Anytime a movie can get away with that in any way, shape, or form, they always put based on a true story.
I know.
Like fucking Annabelle says based on a true story.
Why? Because
Like,
dolls
fuck
exist?
you. Yeah. There was a doll in this house that did weird shit once. Based on a true story.
So, JT, could you tell me what happened in your pick for this week?
Fuck me. Follow oh shit, I can't remember his name.
Earl?
Earl. Yeah, that's right. Grandpa Earl. We follow a man named Earl, played by Clint Eastwood, who is a world-renowned florist. Who his farm goes belly up because of the goddamn internet.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah. Most of this movie is just old man ramblings, but we'll talk about this. But anyways, while he is in the process of trying to find a new occupation, he comes across someone at his granddaughter's bridal shower that offers him a job to be a drug mule. He never brings that up again.
No.
That he met this dude at his granddaughter's bridal shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
So, fine.
Where's that guy in the rest of the movie?
No shit. The last time they show him, he like winks at him when he talks about how he paid for the open bar at a wedding. Or like, hey, remember me? I gave you this job. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
But so he gets him connected with this Mexican cartel that moves drugs from El Paso, Texas, into Chicago, where he lives in Peoria.
Mm-hmm.
So they move. Yeah. So he moves drugs from El Paso to Chicago.
Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, Peoria, Illinois.
There you have it.
There you go.
Ever
And,
visited a Peoria?
I have a couple times.
Same.
It's beautiful.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But all while being with a Bradley Cooper, who plays an FBI agent who's hot on his heels to find out who his code name being Tata. Who is this Tata? And why is he one of the most successful drug mules for this Mexican cartel?
There you have it. The mule.
And you got the mule.
The mule. I haven't seen every single one of Clint Eastwood's more recent outings in movies. Because didn't he come back really hard in Gran Torino?
Yeah. Did you see Gran Torino?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like Gran Torino.
Yeah. Because it's the same director who Clint Eastwood and the same writer as Gran Torino is this movie. Mm-hmm. Which is funny because it's like, I feel like Gran Torino...
Subtly the same.
Gran Torino was like... So I feel like the charm of Gran Torino is you take this like hardened racist and like you like expose him to a culture where it makes him even though he doesn't really change his point of view, like he grows to appreciate the culture that he looks down on because he was in the Korean War.
Right.
And like in the end, like he sacrifices himself for people that he kind of disdained for a while.
Right.
And in this, I felt like they were like, hey, remember when people loved how Clint Eastwood was racist in Gran Torino? Let's do that without the inspiring message.
Yeah, let's just have this an outlet for him to be
let's just let him be
slightly racist
all
the whole movie.
Because all of his like side quests outside of delivering drugs was just him running into
people of different creeds
and cultures that he can make fun of in his own way.
Right.
Or it's like, is this what this movie's turning into now?
And I couldn't tell if they were trying to do it because it's like, oh, he's just being a cute old man. He's so out of touch.
Yeah.
And it's like, comes off as like, I think he kind of wanted to say Negro.
But then he keeps doing it. Like the first time he does it, he comes across that like that lesbian motorcycle group and they call themselves Dykes on Bikes.
Right.
And like the whole thing is just so he can build to where they're like, see you, old man, and then he's like, see you, Dax.
That's it.
That's the only reason for that scene. It's just a weird weird way to give him permission to say dykes to a bunch of lesbians.
Yes. The only time ever where well, no, there's like two other times that he kind of pulls out the racist card. One when he helps the like black family like change a tire.
Yeah.
That one was weird.
That one was very out of nowhere.
I mean,
and that family took it with such stride. I was like, why are you not beating this old dude's ass?
Oh shit. I mean, there was a reason he stopped, because like he's a good natured, underneath it all, I guess he's like a good natured kind of guy.
Yeah.
I guess. And like
he's just a weird
it tries to
character
show
in
like how
general.
he's kind of doing his own thing during these drug runs.
Yeah.
And like the people that are hiring to do this are getting pissed that he like makes all these frequent stops and just does like an old man putzing around and eventually gets there. But then there's the one where they stop for dinner, and apparently this super white conservative town.
Yeah.
And he has like the two like handlers with him.
Yeah.
And the cop is like,
the one with the cop. I like the line before that when they're when they're at that restaurant.
oh,
and then
I totally forgot about
everyone
that.
is staring at him like, why are they staring at us? And he's like, what do you mean? You're a couple of beaners and a bowl of crackers. I'm like, Jesus. I mean, that's funny, but Jesus. The whole movie's full of shit like that, too.
Yeah, I know. It's if you think about it too much, it's like, is this why they made the movie, to make these subtly racist jokes?
Yeah, there's so much that were like they construct scenes where it's just
like
the punchline.
Dykes on bikes specifically.
Yeah, like the punchline is he says something racist. Like that's the only reason to even include this scene. Because it's literally just him detouring on his way to delivering drugs.
Right.
And then he comes across like a black family with a flat tire,
right,
or a bunch of lesbians on bikes, so he can say Negro or dyke. Did you really need that? Like, this movie's over an hour and a half long.
It's
you can
almost 2 hours.
Yeah, you don't have to have that scene.
Oh my god!
Like, the first time you see Clint Eastwood, his second line in the whole movie is he asks, like, one of his Mexican coworkers at the farm, like, what's wrong with his taco truck? Yeah. And it's just a pickup truck that he drives.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That's his second line in the whole movie.
Yeah.
You're still being introduced to him.
I know. And then it comes, like, after that, because from there you're like, oh, I guess he's kind of like a racist prick or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't come off like that for a while.
No, people love him.
Yeah. And, like,
dress up in his shitty bow tie and goes to these fucking flower things.
Flower convention.
Gives dirty looks to the internet while he's...
the Daylily convention or whatever it is.
Oh, my God. That scene when, like, he goes to his... He finally shows up at his booth and people look like they're about ready to eat each other to get his fucking flowers.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? This movie is so...
I thought that was very bizarre.
Like, people are about ready to beat each other's asses over his fucking flowers.
Hey man, it's pre-internet days. That's why
pre-internet. It's like 2009.
It's like 2005, where there definitely was the internet at that point.
Yeah, and like there's like a legit scene when like he's walking down the aisle to his booth, and there's this new stand here that's touting that they can deliver flowers within 20 days because they have the internet. And then fucking Clint Eastwood just stares at it. It's like, oh, goddamn. What the fuck's the internet?
Who needs the internet?
Who needs the goddamn internet? Like,
cut to 5 minutes later. That goddamn internet took
he's
my
closing
job.
down his farm because fuck the goddamn internet.
Thought that was pretty funny.
God, this whole movie is just one big old man rant.
Yeah, it really is.
So much shit like that. Like,
but even Gran Torino was kind of like that too.
Yeah, but with Gran Torino, even though like a lot of the people in it were shitty actors, like there was enough of a story arc where like you could see him softening on these people that he's kind of grown to kind of hate because he was in the Korean War.
Yeah.
In this, I don't think he changes at all. Like, at the very end, he's like, I probably should have spent more time with my family. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Beyond that, he's still racist, and he's still fucking he's still, like, I don't think anyone ever really, like, looks down on him for dealing drugs.
Even, like, no, not really. Because
Like,
even his family's like, at least we'll know where you are.
Yeah. Like, during the trial for him, like, going to jail, they're like, he's a war veteran, and he did this because he was scared for his life. And he was like, no, I'm guilty. And I'm like, wait, I thought guilt wasn't even, like, on the table. Like, people know you're guilty. And then the judge is like, oh, you're guilty? Well, then we're sending you to jail.
Yeah.
It's like, you caught him. He's been guilty.
Right.
Where it's like, so, like, if they were...
You literally caught him on the run.
Yeah. So it's like, well, and then they even treated it where it was like, oh, well, the lawyer was convincing us that you are a pretty upstanding guy, so we're gonna let all the charges drop.
And they took advantage of this old, helpless war veteran.
Yeah.
And they made him do it. And then he's like, stop,
I'm guilty.
I'm guilty.
Jail.
Jail.
Yeah. And then when he's, like, getting hauled off, he's like, I just wish I had more time. Like, more time for what? You're 90 fucking years old. And you pled guilty. So much. This movie is a fucking trip.
There is, like, one line in the beginning of this where his ex-wife asks him why he even loves those flowers so much. And he says something along the lines of, you spend all this time creating and crafting this one thing from, like, one beautiful moment when it finally blooms.
Yeah.
And she's like, why didn't you ever make that, like, analogy to human people, like your family?
Yeah, I was like, why didn't
And
you ever think
it, like, stuns him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that is the fucking easiest analog to make towards spending time with your family.
Did you fuck these flowers? Like, yeah, it's literally like anytime they get to where it's like, they try and make it where it's like, oh, they stopped him in his tracks. Where it's like, no, it's literally like, why is he just now dawning on him? The motherfucker's 90 years old. It's just dawning on him where it's like, I probably should have had a fucking family.
Yeah.
God damn. And why is being a florist such a demanding fucking job? You have to travel all around the country.
Well, he's got to go all those flower competitions with his lilies.
For what? The
win
motherfucker's poor.
To win those vases.
He poor.
He wasn't poor before until
He's poor enough that he lost his goddamn farm.
because of the internet. Not in
Jesus
not in
Christ.
not in his heyday of 2005, my friend. There he was killing it with his fucking lilies right after winning that Daylily Cup. You kidding me?
Jesus Christ. The movie's goddamn insane.
When I read just the synopsis of this, when I rented it off Prime, and it's like, legendary botanist, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Botanist
Where
my
is
fucking
this movie
ass.
going? I'm gonna try to find that right now because it made me chuckle.
Legendary botanist. Like he's fucking curing cancer with plants. He's over here growing fucking flowers.
And not even ones that are hard to grow. Like, daylilies literally will grow in shit.
There are, like, some scenes in this where they like, lovingly, like, pan over lilies as he's, like, running his fingers over them, where it's like, does the guy that... Like, okay, so, like, Clint Eastwood's directing, he probably wants to fuck these flowers.
Possibly.
Because they, like, pan over them, like, lovingly, like, oh, these lilies. Look at these goddamn lilies.
Lilies.
Yeah, fucking lilies.
Why can't I find this shit?
And then... So, like, the shitty-ass joke that he fucking cuts when he fucking gets the vase at the beginning, where he's like, what's the difference between, between the florist and the bar or something? And it's like, well, I'll figure it out when I walk there or some shit. Where it's like, shut up. Oldest man joke.
They must have, like, a different freaking... It's not as good on the mobile version. Anyway, Um, what I did like about this movie, though,
Yeah.
is that, like, how he made, like, chummy with, like, the drug cartel guys from
Oh,
that, like,
I know.
tire shop or whatever. The first he pulls in and they're like, who the fuck are you, cabron?
Yeah, like they start out so scary, and they're like, "Hey man, you gotta learn how to fucking text, bro, because if we get to you and you don't get to us, we're gonna fucking kill you, dude."
Yeah, and then he, like, starts showing up
Then they're
later
like,
and they're like,
"Earl!
oh, my man, muchacho!
Oh, you don't know how to text yet? Oh, well, you gotta go over here to get the numbers, dude. Here's how you do this. Like, they're like so fucking happy to see him. Yeah, I did kind of like that shit. Like, they're like the legit, like, the first time you see one of them, they're like holding like a fucking AK-47,
Yeah.
staring at him as he pulls
Yeah.
his dumb shit ass truck into
Right.
their garage.
This doesn't really happen, but it's more or less the next time he comes in, they're like, can't wait to like show him pictures of his kids or something like that. It's like that level of excitement. It's like, Earl's here? Oh god, I just made this rhubarb crisp, he's gonna fucking shit!
My kid took a shit, I want to show Earl.
I need advice to get the best, sweetest tomatoes.
So, I want to bring up one more thing before we go on to like when he's like being a drug mule. So there's a scene here that fucking I was like losing it, where it's like they set it up just so that they can like as like a way to be like reminding Earl that like his daughter's wedding is going on at the same time that he's at this florist shop. Because so like he goes to the bar and he sits at the bar and he's like, buy a round of drinks for everybody, and everyone's like, yay, Earl, yay.
Yeah.
And then the bartender, he said for everybody, but the bartender just specifically points out even that wedding party over there and points, and the wedding party is full of Asian people. So I was like, is that bartender just racist against Asian people? That like,
I think I missed that part.
but like the reason they bring it up is just so that they can be like, oh, wedding party, my daughter's getting married, I'm not there, I need to look sad. But it's like, beyond that story point, there's no reason why she should be like, even that wedding party. Like,
Yeah, everybody's just subtly racist in this.
like I just thought about it, where I was like, he said everyone in the bar. Why do you have to specifically point out this wedding party?
Yeah, even
and then
those people.
yeah, and then like the wedding party just happens to be Asian too, where it's like, does that bartender hate Asian people? Like, the reason they did it was just to point out that like, oh, I'm missing my daughter's wedding, but it's like, no, everyone else doesn't know that. That bartender just hates Asian people.
What I thought was a little overdone in this is that his daughter, anytime she has just the mere sight of him, is just like, oh,
Yeah.
gets up and leaves.
God.
And I'm like, okay, I get it. It's way overdone. I think that's his real daughter too.
Really?
I thought that was like a trivia thing I read.
Oh shit.
But like I thought it was like way blown out of proportion
Yeah.
especially when it happens in the auditorium during that graduation.
Yeah, she gets up and like makes a bunch of people move so she can get to the other side of the auditorium.
Like Clint Eastwood and his like ex-wife are just speaking at full volume during that presentation. Like they're not whispering or anything. They're just like, hey, I came here after my drug run or whatever it is. Are you sick? Are you coughing?
No, my favorite part was, so during like her like bridal shower, like Clint Eastwood shows up and like he's like, oh yeah, I'm here, yay, and then and then like his daughter and his ex-wife show up and they're like, and then his daughter's like, I can't be here if he's here, and then she gets in the car and then like his ex-wife makes this big stink where it's like, really? You come here of all days? And then whatever, and then she like, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, and she like hugs like the granddaughter, and then they leave, and then like Clint Eastwood's like, well, I should probably go too. So like, here's like her entire family is not at her bridal shower.
Yeah.
Like they just set it up where it's like, so then her whole family just left the bridal shower. Like none of her family is there.
So all in all, like, he's actually the good guy in that scenario. 'Cause
Yeah,
he showed up.
they just make him the good guy, but then he still leaves before it's over.
And
So-
get that sweet driving
yeah,
job.
Yeah, and then just keep saying bitch over and over again as he's walking to his truck. Like, didn't it strike you like Clint Eastwood is just like talking to himself this whole fucking movie?
I kind of found that endearing because I'm like, that sounds like an old man.
Yeah, there's like so many like
Even just him singing to himself in his truck.
Oh, I love that shit though.
I'm just like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then the fucking when he gets like the handler, and then like him and like the dude that's driving the car are like singing along.
They bug his truck and then he starts singing along too. Oh, I love that scene. That's so good. But yeah, it actually is Allison Eastwood who has recently focused on production and directing. Was surprised that her father, Clint Eastwood, asked her to play alongside him as his daughter.
Oh, bless.
How about it?
Bless. Yeah, there's like so many scenes where like they play him out just for the story's purpose, but then if you think about him as like an actual occurrence, you're just like, that's very weird.
So I was talking about this a little earlier before we started the show, and we were going on about it, and I'm like, so this movie takes like fairly large leaps in logic at the very beginning of this movie.
Yeah.
One, you kind of have to believe that he's like a world, like at least like an American famous botanist or whatever this is, in order for him to like get over as this like big deal. And then he loses all his money. Okay, fine. Like the internet age took over and he like lost his business. But then like immediately, like some guy's like, hey, if you're looking for money, people will pay you to drive. And then he just shows up and is delivering drugs in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, not even. Like he shows up like, yeah. And he's in El Paso, like they never show him driving there. They always like show like he's on his way back to where he lived to drop off the drugs.
Right.
I was like, that's a long haul to go to Texas
from
to
Peoria,
go back to
Illinois.
Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, I was like, whoa, so he just is gonna go. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, great. They bring up where it's like he traveled everywhere for his flowers. So it's like, oh, this is not a big deal for me.
Right.
Where it's like, yeah, but it's like it's so out of nowhere where it's like, okay,
just to take a random job from some guy that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
That sounds fishy.
Yeah.
But he's gonna drive all the way to Texas.
Yeah. And he doesn't even realize it's drugs until like he just I don't know, like that scene where he's just out of the blue, like I kind of want to see what it is. Like it's like his third job.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I kind of want to stop and see what it is. Like, you literally have not cared less about what you're hauling.
Right, he's made a big deal about, like, I don't care what it is.
Yeah, I don't give a
Just
shit.
Pay me when I get there.
Yeah, just pay, yeah. And then he's, out of nowhere, he's just like driving down the highway and he's like, I kind of want to see what it is. And there's these big bricks of coke and he's like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And that's when they have the fucking, where the cop goes up and asks if he needs help and he rubs Ben Gay in that dog's face.
I thought anytime he had an interaction with a cop, though, it was, like, handled like it would be in, like, Breaking Bad. If, like, Walter White was a 90-year-old man.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well thought out.
The one where, like, he fucking hands that racist cop, like, a bunch of tins of popcorn.
That one's probably my favorite one because it's, like, with his two handlers.
That would totally happen here. Like, if, like, some cop's giving you shit and he's like, I got these 2 tins of popcorn. We're like, oh, well, I want them to go to waste. Like, fucking Toot would get 2 tins of popcorn and be like, all right, we'll just slow down next time.
But I really like that scene, though, because he was just like, hey, you two, what are you two doing here in this town? I'm going to show me your hands or whatever it is. And then he comes to their rescue, pretty much saying like, oh, sorry, I picked these guys up at the Home Depot. They're helping me with a little bit of moving. They're hardworking guys. You don't have to worry about it. He's like, can I show you something in my truck really quick? And you're like, oh, shit, he's going to open up his truck full of drugs. And he does, but they're all in duffel bags. And it's like right in front of the cop's face. And he's like, I got these 2 tins of caramelized popcorn. They're just going to go to waste. I got diabetes.
They're going to go bad. I got diabetes.
It's like, here, how about you take some for the office and take some for the ladies downstairs. They'll love it.
Those secretaries, they love that fucking popcorn shit.
It's like, totally turns the tables on. Like, that was really smart. Like,
Yeah.
to play against type on this freaking racist ass cop.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, like there's so many scenes in here where it's just like he just has balls of steel because like he'll just present situations where like he could be fucked if they look at the wrong thing, but he plays it so cool where you're just like,
Didn't play it too
Hey,
cool
man.
when that guy was touching his pecans. Tell you
oh
what.
god,
Don't touch my pecans!
hey, get away from my fucking pecans.
So when do you want to talk about the three ways?
Jesus Christ. Clint Eastwood has so many threesomes in this.
He at least has one
At least one.
that we know about. The first one that looks like it could be, I would like to imagine.
Yeah.
He invited two ladies over to have a good time. They just danced the night away, and they had
in
drinks
in his hotel
room. They just had fun. They humored the old man, and they left the next day.
He is so handsy with women 40 years his junior in this fucking movie. Even at his granddaughter's wedding, like right before he has a heartfelt conversation with his ex-wife, he is feeling up the fuck out of some chicks on the dance floor. And then when he saves the VFW. That is the oldest thing I've ever seen in a movie in my entire life.
Yeah.
That he uses drug money to save the local VFW, and then they celebrate by throwing a polka concert.
Yeah. You know what was unnerving to me when the drug lord like invited him down for that like big huge party, and he has like in a death grip this like Latin beautiful woman, and
Yeah.
it's like that made me the most uncomfortable
Oh yeah,
out of everything.
He is like lashed on her like a fucking clam. Like
he has his spindly thin arms wrapped
God.
around her so tight, and I'm just like, oh
God bless Clint Eastwood, but like he is so old you can like almost see through his skin now. So like anytime like he's in these like situations where he is like feeling up like these very young women, I just feel so uncomfortable.
He is 88 years
And
old
he does
when this
it-
movie came out.
And he does it so much. There's that one scene where like he's at the VFW for like this polka concert in his honor, and like the singer comes down to the dance floor to like sing like dancing with him, and he is like feeling her up, and she's just like moving the microphone around because he's moving his hands all over her. He's just like, well, it's a great day to do this, and he's just like putting his hands all over her. It's like,
yeah.
stop. She's doing her job. She's singing and she's on the dance floor, and you're just like, fucking, you just put your hands around her out of nowhere, and you're just like fucking rocking her back and forth, and it's like,
Hey, did you see how she was dressed?
well, like a fucking like the Swiss Miss.
Yeah, she was asking for it. She got to know when she's going to a VFW hall that is just right for gropage.
God damn it.
Oh my. Anything else you want to bring up? We're like all
man.
over the place in this
Oh,
review,
I know.
but it's
This movie itself is all over the place. Like, we didn't even talk about like Bradley Cooper being the fucking FBI agent. Him and what's his name? Michael Pena.
under the guidance of Lawrence Fishburne, who's also in this movie.
Cast is so stupidly packed for being such a fucking like movie that should have been made 20 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just like everyone just kind of bent over and was like, "All right,
I want to be in a Clint Eastwood
I want to be in a
movie.
Clint Eastwood movie. I don't care if he's gonna be racist through more than half of it."
But I was reading that this is like the fourth movie that Michael Pena has been in with Clint Eastwood.
Really?
Yeah. And like Bradley Cooper's already done it, and Lawrence Fishburne was the only one that's like, I don't think I've ever done it. I want to do it.
I know Bradley Cooper's been it because like was American Sniper, was that a Clint Eastwood movie?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, like there's so much of this. Like, there's even like a scene where like like Bradley Cooper is like almost justifying like some of the bad shit Clint Eastwood does in this, where it's like, oh well, you old timers, I guess you go through so much. I guess when you get to this point, it doesn't really matter what you do, huh? Or it's like, now you're just trying to cover your own ass, Bradley Cooper, for being in the yeah. So you're just saying old people should just be able to do whatever they want.
Oh, I guess this is the second movie he's been in with Lawrence Fishburne. The first was Mystic River. 2 two of the oh, this is never mind. I'm not gonna say that one. That was dumb. Yeah. Anyway, fun stuff. Like, I want to say overall, the Mule, I ended up enjoying, and I would recommend people to see it.
Yeah,
because it's. I guess I had no idea. Like, the trailers, I don't think does it like a great justice.
Yeah.
Because I think it makes it seem like a more serious movie
yeah,
than
and
it
they make it
actually
seem like
is.
this big somber thing, but it's like it's so insane.
It is. It feels a tad lighthearted
Yeah.
during most of it.
Yeah.
But, like, near the end, it gets a little bit more heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Like, his ex-wife, like, being stricken with cancer and all that kind of stuff. And, like,
I've had some family members that have died of cancer. She is really good at portraying someone dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Like, it gave me some fucking memories where I was like, good lord, this is too close to home.
Yeah. So I thought that was actually pretty good. Like, he stopped his, like, big last run to go to his ex-wife's funeral. I thought that was a pretty good scene. But other than that, like, it doesn't get any... It doesn't... The lead up to that isn't, like... I don't know. It doesn't make what the trailer made it look out to be.
Yeah.
Even, like, when it gets, like, more heavy with, like, the cartel, like, changing leadership. Mm-hmm. Like, even then it's like, okay, well, I don't really feel any more tension, I guess.
I know.
Because even his handlers are like, oh, no, I'm kind of starting to like the guy.
Yeah. It's so much of this where they were like, they try and make the Andy Garcia be like, he's the fun Mexican cartel crime boss. They're like, the Mexican cartel is terrible regardless of leadership.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he probably enslaved those women that he made fuck him.
Yeah, no shit.
And then it's like, oh, he's dead. Now it's not fun anymore because they're making him actually do his job.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you saying?
It's insanity.
Like, it's so fucking insane. Like, I'm saying this just because, like, it's an insane movie, but when I saw it, I had so much fun just based on its insanity. Just being like, this movie was made last year and it feels like it was, like, made in, like, the 1990s.
I completely agree. Like, you were saying, like, how off-the-wall bonkers crazy it was. And it is in its low-key way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? How did we get to this point?
Yeah, it's one of those movies where it's like, if you play it in the background, you're just like, oh, it's a Clint Eastwood movie. But if you, like, watch it and pay attention, like, all of the scenes make no sense for if you're portraying it in a this is happening in real life scenario.
I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but it's just like, if you're coming in and out of it, you're like, where are we right now? What are we doing in this movie?
Like, I think every scene plays up to the plot. And then if you're not involved in the plot, then the scene makes no sense.
Except for the let's do something mildly racist scenes that are thrown
Yeah,
in.
exactly. Exactly.
But, so you would suggest people check out this movie?
Yeah, it's so fucking... Like, I wouldn't even say, like, if we're gonna give final grades, like, I think, all in all, I'd probably give this, like, maybe a B-, just based on the quality.
Uh-huh.
But definitely check it out, because it is so fucking insane.
Yeah.
Just based on, like, you, like, take movies nowadays where they're, like, so conscious about, like, trying to take people's, like, feelings in mind, and this one is just like, nah. Clint Eastwood's old enough, he can get away with everything.
Pretty much. I think I was teetering on, like, a B or a B-. And I think a B- might be a little bit too negative for my enjoyment level of this. I ended up enjoying this pretty well. Like, the only parts that I question are, like, the leaps that this movie takes very quickly to get to, like, point A to point C.
B is off the map.
Yeah, but
fuck
like,
B.
If you don't mind that, it's like it's a fine movie. Clint Eastwood's charming in it.
Yeah, for being like
being an old codger.
I know, like, the dude is 88 years old. and he's still he presents himself in enough of a way where it's like I can still see what people can see in him for still liking him, even if he does like throw a racial comment here and there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, because like we keep saying oh shit, like that's like his go-to anytime someone calls him out on like being racist.
Yeah.
It's like no shit.
No shit.
Like
Jocks on bikes. No shit.
Yeah, like the black family was like, sir, we don't use that word anymore. No shit. And they're just like, okay, I get it. I love you.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the line he even said? Because even then I'm just like, Jesus, guy, it's like 2012. It's, what do you say?
It was
like,
something like,
a white guy helping a Negro or something like that. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
or it was like something like, it was like something like, oh, you think you Negroes are know how to do this kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like helping him like change a flat tire, and then they're just like looking at each other like,
Sir?
yeah, we don't say that word. Like, oh, no shit.
Well, you could just say like black or people. That'd be good. He's like, oh,
No shit.
it's like, what the fuck? What sort of rock
I know
have you
you're
lived
yeah,
under?
I know you're old, but like you're in the times. Like you're growing up in the times. You
Right.
know that this shit's happening.
Right. This isn't like the 50s and 60s where you would have been, what, 20 at the oldest?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But anyway, I
Yeah.
thought that was funny.
Like, but yeah, like this movie is like legit like like a charming old man rant of a movie.
Yes, it is. And I appreciate it. So I think
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a B.
Like I think I like Gran Torino more just because they actually do something with his racism, and in this it's just like it's funny.
Hey, it's funny. I don't know what I like better. Like Gran Torino I kind of like because of the arc that he takes, but I don't like the acting as much from his supporting cast. And
Yeah,
this
here
is-
they pack the cast with a bunch of really good actors.
Yeah. And I like the story of this. I think it's fun,
Yeah.
and I find both the characters in this and the Gran Torino charming.
I don't know what it was, but I loved when Clint Eastwood would speak Spanish too. I was like, "Ay, mío."
I was hoping that one scene where the new order was taking over, and they're like yelling at each other in Spanish, that he was just sitting back there like, I don't know, what are you ever eating an ice cream sandwich or whatever he's doing.
There's that weird. Okay, so when like his handler first shows up, there's that weird thing when he keeps beating that one joke to death, where he's like a Nazi.
And does
And
a
they keeps
horrible German
keeps doing a
accent.
terrible German accent to him all the
The
time.
worst German accent I think
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
Like it's so bad that like I think it made me more uncomfortable than like the actual racist things he did. Where I was like, he's just like, oh, De Fuhrer, huh? De Fuhrer, huh? You like De Fuhrer? Like, what the fuck? It's not even a joke. He's just repeating De Fuhrer.
I guess it's like a really, like a real life old man thing that people do. Like, yeah, he's gonna like this. Get it? It's a joke that
Yeah.
would appreciate.
You don't
it in
even
the
sound Mexican.
40s.
You sound German, De Fuhrer, huh? De Fuhrer? Like, what the fuck is
What are you
happening?
saying, you old man?
Crazy old fuck.
Do you know what year this is? Like I'm saying for your health.
Yeah.
Do you know what year this is?
And he's going in the garage and the guy's yelling at him because the fucking guys in the garage are showing him pictures of his baby shit.
That never really happened, but we like to think that happened. Oh
Yeah.
boy, what a flick!
God,
Good
yeah.
pick.
Thank you. It's
I don't feel like my pickle is gonna live up to this.
no, like it was.
You're
it was
already
a good,
gonna
it-
say no,
So it
it's
was a good
not.
one, right?
It was.
good.
It was a
because
good
I
one.
felt like out of all the movies I've seen lately, like this is the one that stuck out as like it's insane enough that it needs to be talked about in some way. I've never heard anyone like talk about it in like a that's insane kind of way. So I was like, oh, it was all right. Or it's like, did you pay attention? Like, there's some crazy shit in this. There's literally like a scene where a woman takes her top off and lays next to Clint Eastwood in a bed with his shirt off.
Right.
And like she it made me so uncomfortable because she like talks to him like how like a nurse talks to someone in a nursing home,
Yeah.
and she's topless with a thong on.
Yeah.
Like, so you want touchies, huh? Huh? You having some fun tonight?
Huh?
Yeah.
Eat some applesauce.
It's legit. She has the tone of voice of a nurse in a nursing home. It made me uncomfortable.
Oh boy. Well, besides rambling like an old man this last week, is there anything else you've been into?
Bitch. I saw Toy Story 4.
Oh no shit.
No shit. No shit. But yeah, man, I'm so fucking happy that there's finally a good goddamn movie that came out in 2019. Toy Story 4. It's so goddamn good. It's ridiculous. It's the fourth one.
I was just gonna say that.
It's the fourth fucking one. And they found a way to not even like they found a way to keep the story going, but they even like made the story like different from all the other ones.
Good.
Like it's really fucking good. Like especially like I was even like being like, how are they fucking gonna make this like a good story without Andy even? Like the fact that like the main kid that we followed throughout is like not even a factor. Now we're following this other like little girl. But they found a way to like include this as a way to not just focus on her, but focus on like another toy and like what it's like to be like a toy that like just isn't, you just don't want to play with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like what happens from there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good. Like if the third one is like kind of like talking about how like nothing lasts forever, like the fourth one is like the fact that nothing lasts forever is not a bad thing.
Okay.
Because it ends in a way where I'm like, God damn, they need to end it here. Like, they probably won't, but they need to end it here.
Okay.
Like, this is a perfect ending for Toy Story altogether.
Okay.
And it's funny, too.
Okay.
This might be the funniest Toy Story they ever made.
Oh my god.
Because, like, I thought Key and Peele's, like, bunny and bear, like, stuffed animals, I thought they were going to be annoying as fuck to seeing the trailers and shit. They have like some of the funniest moments in the whole movie.
Good to hear.
Like laugh out. Like I was like losing my shit. Like God, I don't want to give it away because it's so goddamn good just to see it play out in the movie. But yeah, Toy Story 4 is fantastic.
Awesome.
And they bring back Bo Peep, and she's like probably like my new favorite character out of Toy Story now.
Okay.
Like they play her up in a way where she's like so interesting compared to everything else in there, where it's like I want to know more about her story.
All right.
So it's definitely go see Toy Story 4 because it is fucking awesome.
All right. I will try. It's actually going to be my like audible pick if I like pull the trigger on it for next week.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'll be able to get to the theater. My weekend's already full.
I won't feel as bad if you pick it because I don't want to pick anything in the theater and be like, go see it. Okay.
And this would be one that I'd want to like bring Macy and Chelsea to. So I don't know if.
Yeah, I'd be curious if Macy would even like Toy Story. Have you ever showed her any of the Toy Story movies?
No, but she wouldn't care. Like
Nah,
at this point, it doesn't
It's
matter.
just like,
It's all moving shapes.
lights and whistles.
But so yeah, that'd be one where we try to go together because I've gone to like a couple movies or tried with Macy anyway.
And
Chelsea has yet to do that and has held that against me for all of Macy's life so far. So. But hey, I got a whole afternoon to myself. What am I supposed to do, huh?
No shit.
Come on.
Come on.
Anything else you've been into?
I saw the movie Captive State.
I don't even know what that is.
It came out last year. I've always been it came out this year actually. I've been curious to see it, but it's like it's got like John Goodman in it, and it's about like our world is like invaded by aliens, and it's like what would it be like if we've accepted the fact that we are like now working for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cool concept because they take it from two different perspectives, like the government as it is now, where they work for these aliens, and then like the resistance that's fighting against it, where you can kind of see like the the positive negative of both sides.
Uh-huh.
And they play it up where there is like kind of a twist at the end too, but I don't know, I liked it because it's like it plays it up in a way where like what the resistance is doing is could lead to like terrible shit to happen, but then in the same sense, like the government as it stands now is just kind of giving into the fact that we don't make our own decisions.
Right.
So like they play it up in a way where you can see both sides,
Cool.
which I thought was interesting. But like the way the movie's laid out, like I don't think it's that good. So
Okay.
like I don't know, like if it ever comes up on Netflix or something, check it out. But it's interesting, but like I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
Okay. I actually read an indie book this last week, an indie comic.
Mm-hmm.
It was highly praised last year when it came out as being like a great insight on how the media and politics run nowadays.
Yeah.
And I'm going into it, I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know if I want to do that. But it ended up being really good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm no kidding, it won like one of the best books of
Really?
last year. It's called Sabrina.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with the teenage witch.
Oh no.
But it's
What's
about
Heart?
it's about 3 characters all tied to this character Sabrina who's murdered.
Yeah.
And the murder tape goes live to the internet.
Oh shit.
And you get one of the main characters is her boyfriend. One of them is her sister.
Yeah.
And another one, the main character is the guy who the boyfriend just goes and stays to live with.
Oh shit.
And it's like 200 something pages long, like 212 pages long or something like that. But by the first like 50 pages, I don't know if I was into this book at all because they weren't doing anything. And I was like,
Yeah.
if this book doesn't get interesting quick, I'm going to hate this. And then all of a sudden, one thing happens where, like, the boyfriend of the murdered Sabrina starts listening to this, like, Alex Jones-esque type radio show.
Oh shit.
And it starts, like, corrupting his mind. And, like, then from there on out, like, there's, like, constant paranoia of, like, all of these characters. Starting thinking, like, that all these people close to the Sabrina girl are crisis actors.
Oh shit.
And, like, people, like, will email the main character, like, hey, we know your wife and daughter live at this address, so make sure you do the right thing.
Oh god.
Brothers in Christ. Like, that type of shit. And you live in that state of paranoia for the rest of the book.
God.
And it's drawn very simply, like, to the point where, like, my co-host on Imperious Rex put it great. They're like, they could be just analogs for anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's drawn so simplistically, they're like blank slates.
Nice.
But, like, I never expected that out of this book. And I would never read it again.
Yeah.
But I would hand it off to, like, you, because I think you would really enjoy it.
Oh nice.
And I would hand it off to people who don't just necessarily like comics either.
Yeah.
It's like one of those that can go to, like, a mass audience and
Yeah.
they can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So check it out, Sabrina.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I bought it off Comixology. It's like an indie book, so it's a little bit more expensive because it goes right to the creator.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I think it's like $12 or something like that.
Oh sweet.
And I think it's worth the price.
Check it out.
Yeah. So that's that. But that's all I've been into.
Yeah. Well, a couple more things I've been into.
Jeez.
Well, HBO's been fucking killing it this year because they came out with a new series called Years and Years,
Mm-hmm.
which I would check out.
Okay.
Because
Is that the kind of thing that's like I love the decade type stuff?
No. It's like a new series on HBO where it takes place in England and it's like you're following a family and like the first scene they show like this woman gives birth to a kid, like it's like present day, she gives birth to like a child, and then one of the brothers of her is just like holding her. It's like, I wonder what the world will be like in 20 years or 15 years or even 5 years from now, and the whole series is supposed to be like they just go, they have like a alternate future where they go into the future and they're like kind of show like what the world could be like in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years.
I saw
and shit.
something for that. It
And
looks good.
It's interesting. Like the first episode came out and like they go 5 years in the future, and it's like even then they do enough stuff where it's like it's far-fetched, but I mean it could happen.
Okay.
Like they do like a bunch of shit where like there's a one of the kids in it decides that she's transhuman, where they found out that there's like a thing where you could pretty much like take your brain out of your body and upload it into the internet.
Okay.
Where she's like she hates human interaction so much that she just wants to be uploaded into the internet where she's more comfortable, because she just constantly is like on her phone, or like they have like a visor that you can wear where it's like emojis pop up instead of your face. And she's like, she feels more comfortable with that than she does talking as a person. So she's like, she considers herself transhuman, and then the parents are like, well, that means you die, so no, we don't like accept that. And then it's like all that shit, and then like they just play up like kind of like maybe like some political things that could happen and stuff, but it's like in a way where it makes you think about like where is the human race heading in terms of like where we are now. And it's really interesting. And like the first episode ends in a way where it's so tense. Like I'm like really looking forward to like the next episode.
Okay.
So yeah, Years and Years on HBO. Check it out.
Okay.
And just one last thing that I finished all of those decade shows that CNN put out that's on Netflix. Like they're called the 70s, 80s, and 90s and 2000s. Man, they're so fucking fun to watch.
Good deal.
Like they even like play them out in a way where like there are certain threads that you can kind of follow throughout, where it's like, oh yeah, so like Reagan like doing his whole deregulation of like Wall Street could very well be the thing that led to like the housing market crash in the 2000s. And they lay it out where it's like as it goes on, you can kind of see like the threads here and there where it's like, well, this led to this and this led to this and this led to this, so this could probably be like Reagan doing this could have led to this. Like if you follow them throughout, it's just like, man, like it like watching like the history of America is like its own kind of like cool drama in a way.
Cool.
To see like how things progress and how things have evolved.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because like I'm not in school anymore, but I always have like this like I have this like need to like fill some kind of void where it's like I want to learn more about like.
I think about that all the time. Like if I were to go back to school now, I would appreciate it. More, even though I don't ever want to go back to school.
No, I don't want to.
I want to learn on my own terms.
Yeah, I don't want to either, but like I just want like an outlet where I just like learn about like just like either like the history of the country or just like things in general. And they do a really cool way of like laying it out where they get like historians and they get people that were involved in the actual events they're talking about, where I don't know, it scratched an itch that I've been kind of looking for a while.
Good deal.
Yeah, look up those. They don't have them like as like the decades or whatever. It's just like look up like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s on Netflix.
Okay.
And they're made by CNN, and they're really well made.
Okay.
Like they use like actual like archival like news footage, and they'll even do like their own episodes on like TV shows and music from the time. And they'll use like concert footage and like footage from TV shows and stuff. Like it's really cool.
Nice. I will check those out. I've been wanting to watch more things on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because, like, I almost specifically watch YouTube at this point. Not that that's bad, because I really enjoy the stuff that's on there, mostly.
Yeah.
Unless I'm watching stuff that Macy wants to watch.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm just on my phone on YouTube on other things, because I need short, digestible things.
Yeah.
But, sweet deal. Good thing.
It's really good. And it's done by Playtone, which is like Tom Hanks' production company.
Right.
Where it's like, man, he needs to make more shit. Like he gets some really good fucking interviews and like experts to come on and talk about shit. Like there's things from like the 2000s where like they put them in perspective in a way where I was like, Like, I barely understood, like, the housing market crash and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they have experts that come on that explain it in a way where I was like, man, that was fucked.
Yeah. When I finally pieced it together on how that all happened, I was like, how did anybody trust any
Yeah.
any of that shit?
But then you see, like, the shit that went down in the 80s where it was like they were so desperate to, like, get the economy back on track that Reagan just deregulated everything stock market so people would start buying more stocks, and they just never set it back up to where it was like, okay, back to seeing what people are doing now. It's like, nope, people are getting rich now, so and we're getting rich, and we're now like buying politicians, so stop looking at us.
Right.
To where it's like now we're getting to a point where it's like, oh, the bubble's gonna keep fucking getting bigger until it essentially bursts. And then it's like, okay, now regulate. But now we're getting to a point now where it's fucking, they're like, maybe stop looking at us now.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck.
Oh, sweet deal, JT. Well, my pick for next Thursday's show
Yes.
is going to be on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's going to be the movie that came out, I Am Mother.
I've been curious about this one.
So have I, and... Ooh, the trailer's kind of playing right now. There you go. Humanity, a second chance. It's a sci-fi outing. I'm a fan of sci-fi.
I love it too.
So I'm just curious to see. I've heard good things so far.
Good.
Well, I've heard at least, like, positive things. I haven't heard anything about the plot or anything like that.
I think there's like only 3 people in the cast too.
Sweet deal. So I want to check it out. So I Am Mother on Netflix. Oh, excuse me. I'm sick.
Look out.
I'm gonna chalk it up being sick.
Look out, man.
So check that out for next week. But before then, what do we got coming up on Monday,
Well,
JT?
on Monday, we're going to do a flashback where we take our idea of the mule and expand it to criminals that are just unlikely criminals.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about our review from 2017 for Logan Lucky.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun movie from what I remember.
Yeah, it was okay.
I'll be surprised. Like, time has mended wounds if I ended up hating this movie after I watched it.
I don't think you hated it, but yeah, I mean, it was all right.
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh's good.
Mm-hmm.
Good director.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, check out that flashback app.
There you go.
Coming up Monday. But if people want to hit up you
Yeah.
and talk about your old man threesomes, where can they do that?
No shit. You can follow me at Bucky Frown on Twitter, also Bucky Frown on Instagram, and Bucky for everyone on Snapchat. Troy.
You can find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. You can find us both also at Review Pod on Twitter. All of our shows are uploaded onto reviewpod.podbean.com, as well as a slew of other things such as Stitcher and Spotify, Google Podcasts. Shit, you probably find us on Alexis if you want to.
Ah, shit.
And if you want to write into the show, please do so at reviewpod.podbean. No, we're at reviewpod@gmail.com.
Old man threesomes?
Old man threesome.
Freak?
You didn't watch The Mule?
No.
There's old man threesomes in it.
Clint Eastwood does not have a threesome.
He has at least one.
Yeah.
Possibly two.
No.
He gets touched by a woman with her top off, at least.
And he also has his top off.
How
Yeah.
does that make it a threesome?
Clint Eastwood has his shirt off in this movie.
Well, he comes downstairs with his shirt unbuttoned, so he probably banged.
Yep.
Young women?
Young-ish. Like 30s.
Young enough.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
But that's going to be the show this week, JT, so
You guys.
classic late Sea Danger run-in.
Yep.
But until next time, I've been Short of the Max Extreme.
I am a JT3K.
And we are off.